What's going on, everybody? I'm just here to let the YouTube algorithms know this is for documentation and educational purposes only. I don't support any use of illegal or legal drugs. And nothing is for sale. And if there is any sort of a giveaway, I will contact you directly. So I hope you enjoyed the intro. Enjoy the rest of the show, kids. Peace.
What's going on, everybody? John Grows here, and I know I've never done a first-person video on this channel, but I think that this is kind of serious for the new grower. So I have 3 things that new growers should not skimp out on. Now, by all means, leave some comments down in the comment section what you think you can or can't skip out on. Let's start the conversation and let's help each other grow, because that's the main thing about this channel and the whole community in general, is helping people learn how to grow. My number one thing that you shouldn't skimp out on: lighting. I think that's super important to get the dankest dank that you possibly can get is lighting. Now, back when I've been doing this for like 3-4 years, everybody knows about the blurples. Whatever you do not buy a blurple. No. In actuality, in 3 years, the space from like cheap to super expensive was huge. There was nothing in between. So everybody who's starting to grow now, you guys are lucky. Because there's so much more middle brands today than there was 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago, you had the blurples, and probably 4 years ago, maybe. Anyway, you couldn't see anything that's going on with your plants. If there was some deficiencies, you couldn't see that because of the blurple. Whatever you do not buy a blurple. No. There's some good lights out there. In the Asian market, you have Spider Pharma, Mars Hydro, even Viper Spectra, I think, is starting to come around. In the American, you have California Lightworks and HLG. Now, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, I think Chilled LED is an American brand. Don't quote me on that, but that's $1,000 light. If you have a budget to blow $1,000 on a light, good for you. That's not this conversation. I have a 4x2 over there, and there's a 4x4 behind the camera. The 4x2, I have a Migro Array 4. Shout out to Shane, by the way. And there's a Spider Pharma SF4000 behind this camera. That is a quantum board. Guys, don't be afraid to buy a quantum board light. You can grow some dank with a quantum board light. Dank. Okay? Don't chase the hype. In this industry, and practically every new industry, don't chase hype. And we'll get into the reasons why you really shouldn't chase hype in a few minutes. So, a quantum board light, I think, would save you $100 compared to a bar light. Okay? Does the bar light have better light distribution? Yes. Is it going to save you $100 if you buy it? No. Can you grow some dank weed with a board light? Yes. Yes, you can. So don't chase the hype on that. But again, don't skimp out. I think quantum board from Spider Pharma is like $200. The Array 4, I think, was $239. And that's a sort of a bar light, I guess you can say. Look that up, by the way. Oh, by the way, shout out to Shane at Migro. If you want some good reviews on some good lights, shout out to Shane. Second thing I wouldn't want to skimp out on is pH pens. guys, do not buy the $11, $20 Amazon special pH pens. They suck. Your pH will be all over the place. It's one thing I could say to buy or spend money on is a pH pen. Now, I grow organic. Really, you don't need to watch the pH, but I still do. I'll pH my shit like 6.3, 6.5, somewhere around there. I have a drip system with Blue Mats. If you want to talk about irrigation, Blue Mats is the way to go. But with organics you don't. Synthetic, yes, you need a good pH pen. I think the Blue Lab pH pen is probably like $100. You might have to pay some money for some solutions. It does come with solutions, I think, like to calibrate a storing solution. You need to store your probes. A dry probe is a dead probe. You need to store your probes in some sort of solution or water. I wouldn't take a gamble if I was paying $100 on just leaving water in this, to keep it in, but I used a Blue Lab Meter Plus. It's got a probe that tests the pH in the soil, rock wool, cocoa, and regular water, like doing deep water culture. That was $230, I think, somewhere around there. But yes, there is pens that less than $100, probably like 65, 70, that I think are most definitely better than the Amazon specials. Don't buy them. No. Invest your money on good equipment that way, because you rely on the pH to be right. If it's not, you're going to be screwed up. Third thing, seeds, genetics. Get good genetics. Now, when I was talking earlier about keeping up with the hype, this is what I mean. Humboldt Seeds, now I'm like a month late on this. Sorry, I've had some issues in the, Humboldt Seeds dropped the triploids, and it didn't go out too well at all. People spent like $300 on like 10 seeds. That's a lot of money. If I was you, a new grower, just Google Cannabis Cup winners from like 2-3 years ago. See what you come up with. It's going to be cheaper than buying something that just came out yesterday. That's a point to save you some time and aggravation and some money. Now, if you want a code for Coastal Mary, use my code JUNGROWS, all one word. It'll save you 20%. Okay? So don't go crazy by spending money on seeds or genetics. Just Google like who won the Cannabis Cup like 2-3 years ago. See what comes up and go from there. Do some research, right? Don't be afraid to grow autos or whatever. But do some research on that. Don't chase the hype in anything in this industry, because sometimes it is way overrated. Now, leave some comments down in the comment section. You want me to talk about shit that you can skimp out on, let me know, because there is definitely some shit that you can go cheap with and it works perfectly fine. So like I said, leave some comments down in the comment section. Talk to each other. This is a community that helps each other grow, and we'll get this done. Peace.